I-95 muscle, coming at you today with this real sick 1964 Rambler. As you can see, it's got a couple of turbos poking out through the hood. Front exit exhaust. Really nice otherwise. I think the brake lights need a brake light switch. Aside from that, runs and drives pretty good. Disc brakes all the way around. This is the only really cruddy part on both sides. You see that, but it's really not that bad. And I'll probably pause this video just a couple of times so we can open the trunk and open the hood and stuff. There's hood pins up there. Inside we got your basic bench seat. This thing is in fact a power glide transmission, and there is this little this is not a controller, it's just a gauge cluster. The only reason why we unplugged it is just because it will kill a battery if you leave it plugged in all the time. So it'll load up all the PIDs that it can read from the vehicle and stuff. So pretty cool. All right. Inside here, you got oil pressure gauge, oil pressure gauge. A couple of fuses for your harness and your ECM up there. So pretty cool. Let me go ahead and let's do one more. Here's the rear. So door panels look like they could use a little love, but the car is super solid. Like obviously all metal everywhere. I don't think there's a bunch of filler in any portion of the car. We did go ahead and have a brand new windshield installed, so this is like $1,000 of goodness up here. So let me go ahead and pause this and get the trunk open, or at least at very least the hood, so we can check out under the hood. I think the rear is just fuel cell. Yeah, I think that's all you'll see in there anyway. We do have a rear mounted trans cooler. That's pretty cool. It is a beefier axle. It's a full posi, by the way. It's got air shocks on it, and there's your fuel filters, fuel pump. So underneath it's like super clean car. They did everything right, routed everything the way they should have, and then you'll see when we pop the hood, under the hood is really nice as well. So let's go ahead and get to that. Oh, of course I would. Oh, it's a little stiff to get open there. And this is what you see under the hood. So you got large primary headers into your turbos on both sides. And it all is intercooled through the front here. So both these go into the intercooler, which then goes into the motor. You got your blow-off valve and your wastegates. Each side has its own wastegate. Pretty cool setup. It seems to be tuned very, very well. Over here you got your fuel pressure regulator, and you'll notice the whole engine bay and fuel rails and stuff is all painted. It's very nice under the hood. So when you close the hood, I would say no one's the wiser, but we know that's not true. So let's go ahead and slap these back on here. You just slide those little guys in there. Slide that little guy in there. There's your front exit exhaust. And now it is cold. It might pop just a little bit until it gets fully warmed up. The problem is we fire it up and drive it outside, barely put it around some. So occasionally you get that little backfire. A set of plugs would probably help a little bit. Eventually, I wouldn't do that anytime soon, but I would drive it a little bit. This thing's an absolute monster, and it will just like roast the tires. So I'm not gonna try to do that, but I will do a little bit of a pull right here so you can see what a little bit of boost looks like. Got a little bit away from me there. So you do have to be careful driving this thing. It's an absolute monster. And you know, we didn't tune it or anything like that, but you can clearly hear the turbos spool up. It's like the turbos inside the car. It sounds so cool. And then you know, you don't need none of the radio stuff. Don't worry about that. There is no headliner to match the rest of the car. It would have been so cool if that horn worked, but you don't need a horn. Just rev up at them. It's enough attention for them. And then on the rear, we got a set of those SVE powder-coated black wheels. These are some Jegs Drag Stars, or I can't remember exactly what they call them, but pretty sick car. So if you're looking for something that's already, you know, LS swapped, already twin turboed, making stupid amounts of horsepower, this might just be the car for you. You can daily drive it. It fires right up. It does run a little bit rich, so that leads me to believe that it is a safer tune. I'd rather it run rich than lean. And that's gonna wrap up the video on the Rambler. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.